So I moved up here after I made the decision that I wanted to stop commuting up to the mountains and actually live here and live the full lifestyle. One day I decided to Google 5 of my favorite ski towns throughout the US, and what came up was the Pitkin County engineering job. I've been a civil engineer for 9 years. I have a Bachelor of Science in Environmental Resources and Forest Engineering, which is a takeoff of civil engineering. I was a project engineer for the Colorado Department of Transportation. That's when I realized that I wanted to be up in the mountains. What all that experience kind of relates to here is taking a little bit of a green mindset from my background and a very highway-oriented background from CDOT, and trying to mix those two to get efficiencies where we can. I grew up in upstate New York, about an hour and a half outside of New York City. I grew up ski racing. I grew up in the foothills of the Catskills. I always had a passion for the mountains. I also was always very technically minded, whether it was Tinker Toys or Legos when I was a kid. And I think there's probably about 5 or 6 people that I know that always predicted that I'd be an engineer. In a typical day, I walk into work and try to figure out a strategy, whether it be having a lot of meetings or having a lot of voicemails or emails to reply to. Also, with all of our planning efforts right now with Pitkin County, I have a lot of plan sets to pour over. Looking at the plans, we're getting down into the nitty-gritty details, and that's a lot of what I do. On an operational side, I also work with the road and bridge crew. When we're looking at a lot of these roads, it's a little bit unique being in my skin, because instead of just driving up and getting to look at all the beautiful mountains, I'm also looking at the ditches and the culverts, seeing if we have delineators up, making sure that the striping is adequate, seeing how the different users use the road, such as bicyclists, skateboarders, rollerbladers, the gamut of buses to smaller vehicles. But what's really unique to us is our topography within the county and how extreme that can be. We get a good number of landslides coming down. The hazard with that is that the debris tends to collect around roads. It's just the flattest feature. And right here we can see the remnants of one of our last landslides to affect one of the county roads. And we had probably about 8 cubic yards of material that came down and affected the roadway in some way, whether it be filling in the ditch or actually being collected on top of the road. On occasion, I get called out for mutual aid because of my expertise as an engineer, whether it be a mudslide at Buttermilk or another sort of situation that occurs within the county. I started dancing probably about 9 years ago. There you go, there you go. That's a good one. Right here. Watch when I come through. Chest, stomach, feet. And then I got into the scene because I was a DJ. I DJ'd a lot of hip hop and break beats. And what I realized that I didn't want to be behind the turntables. I wanted to be in front of them, being part of the crowd. So when I moved here to Aspen, I had some friends that own a dance studio, and they gave me the opportunity to start teaching dance. It teaches me how to communicate with people in several different ways and on different levels. My first project as county engineer was the reconstruction of Red Mountain Road. It was a several $million job where we added a shoulder onto the road as a pedestrian amenity. It's a sidewalk going up and down the steepest part of the hill to facilitate bicyclists and pedestrians. There's this whole work-life balance that is really why we're here, and we all understand that. And what's great about working for Pitkin County is that they do understand a big part of that work-life balance, and I get to work a flexible schedule where I get every other Friday off to get that many more days either out on the slopes or mountain biking, or getting to go on longer weekend excursions, whether it be hiking or camping.